Please, while I share my screen, I have a PowerPoint presentation, which I would like to, okay. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put it on presentation mode. Okay, so as I was saying, the topic is self-awareness, and I say it's exploring self-understanding and personal growth. It is very important for us to have self-understanding, to know ourselves, to know why we do things, to know how we feel. And going by definition of self-awareness just means the conscious knowledge of one's own character, your feelings, your motives, and desires. And I would like us to take a little pause there. Talking about a conscious knowledge, like you don't just know yourself on a surface level, you know yourself deeply. You know when something happens, when you feel certain way, when you feel certain emotions, or you know the triggers, you know that, okay, when I feel so overwhelmed and tired, what is usually the cause? What's you like to look back to see, okay, what usually happens before I start to feel this way? So self-awareness is really, really important. And so by conscious knowledge of one's our own character, our own feelings, our own motives, our own desires, and what are just the importance of self-awareness. Let's go. The importance of self-awareness, it is foundational to our personal growth, because if you are able to understand your own emotions and you're able to understand why you feel a certain way, it will you have better self knowledge. It will help you um to take action, to say, okay, this happens when this happens, and you will know how to better position yourself to say that, okay, I'm not going to allow whatever is happening to overwhelm me, because you already know that whenever this happens, you tend to go to feel certain way. So it is foundational to our personal growth. It is foundational to effective decision making, because once you understand yourself, you are able to make better decisions. You are able to say, okay, this is what I'm not going to act based on my sentiments or my emotions alone. I'm going to act based on the facts. And also, it is important for us, self-awareness is important for us to build meaningful relationships. When you better understand yourself, you are able to empathize with others. You're able to put yourself in their shoes, and then you know the angle they are coming from. You know that, okay, maybe why this person is doing this is because I did this. So you're able to build a more meaningful relationship with others. And like I said when I started, self-awareness is really important for us as finance professionals, because we can't just be all by ourselves. We are people who deal with other people. You deal with clients, you work on their financials, you do we do advisory, all those services that we render. We relate with people, and not just on a professional level alone. We relate with people, maybe social gathering, places, religious places, and all that. We need to understand ourselves better, so that we can build meaningful relationships with others. And there are two types of self-awareness that I have identified here. And the first one is internal self-awareness and external self-awareness. So what is the internal self-awareness saying? Okay. Internal self-awareness is saying that, okay, you understand your own inner thoughts. You understand your emotions, and then you understand your own strengths and weaknesses. So when you self-reflect, like when you're self-aware, you think, you understand your inner thoughts. Okay, I feel angry. Why do I feel angry? Do you get? It can take us to asking questions that, okay, why do I feel angry? Oh, you reflect to see that, okay, I feel angry when this and this happen. Maybe when I'm unable to meet a particular deadline. Yeah, or maybe when my time is being, when I spend a lot of time doing something. So you sit to understand your, inner thoughts, your emotions better. And then internal self-awareness also talks about knowing our own strengths and weaknesses. Like, oh, I'm not really good with this. I really need to work better on this. Okay, these are my weaknesses. Oh, I have this strength. Okay, how can I work on my weaknesses? How can I leverage my strengths to work on my weaknesses so I can become better? So that is the internal self-awareness. And the other component of self-awareness is external. Yeah, I'm talking about recognizing how other people perceive you. Yeah, you recognize how other people perceive you. Okay, how are my actions or inactions making other people to feel? You have to recognize how people see you. Okay, maybe you come across as someone who, maybe when, let me use our um, industry for an instance, a profession as an example. You're given a task, maybe you come across as someone who, when it's given something to do, maybe you just leave it anyhow, you don't do it the way. So maybe you've been given the task and you have not performed it up to expectation. There could be reasons that you could have your own excuses, genuine excuses why that is happening. But if you have not explained to other people, they don't. There's a way people will perceive to say, oh, this is how this person is. Do you get? But if you don't come out to say, oh, this are what maybe you have not been communicating well to say, oh, this is the level which I am on this thing, this, it could make other people to perceive you somehow. So internal self-awareness and external self-awareness, you're recognizing how other people perceive you, and then understanding the impact of your own actions. So that those are the key components of self-awareness. So let's go on. I still have time. Okay. Yeah. So what are the benefits? Like improved emotional regulation, because you are able to self-govern. You can govern yourself because you understand your emotion. You're able to say, no, no, no. This is about to cause this. I am not going there. It enhances our relationships and increases our personal and professional growth. So now, what are the steps to develop self-awareness? It's a journey. We all don't, we don't get there. I was talking to a mentor, an older person, and I was asking some questions, and I realized that the journey of life is a journey of growth. Nobody will say they are there yet. Yeah. So it's a step. We keep on getting better day in, day out. So the steps to developing self-awareness is self-reflection. Like I was saying the other time, when you self-reflect, when you have a time that you see to say, oh, okay, this the way I usually feel when this. Yeah, that is number one. You self-reflect. You think about your strengths, what you can do better, and how you can make things, work to become a better person. Another one is seeking feedback. And seeking feedback from people. And there's a tool. I remember when I went for a course and I was taught, on seeking feedback, there's this model called the Johari window. I don't know if you have heard about it before. It's talking about the 4 key components of, like self-awareness. So the Johari window talks about, it talks about 4 windows. That there is a window that is open to everybody, that everybody knows you. Like as I am now, people in Moracle, they know me that, okay, this is Bukola Oshashona, she's an accountant. I know that, you have that knowledge about me. And there's another window where that is called the blind spots, like what you don't know about yourself that other people know about you. And there is another window now where there is something you only know about yourself that other people don't know about you. And the fourth one is what you don't know about yourself, others don't know about you. So it's just talking about um, developing your self-awareness. And I would like to talk about the number 2 window, which is the blind spots. We all have blind spots. There are things that you don't know about yourself that others know about you, maybe by virtue of working with you, relating with you, that, oh, this is how this, but you may not know. It could be a kind of weakness. So when we seek feedback, people are able to tell us about our blind spots, and we tend to develop self-awareness. And then the third one is mindfulness practices. Your mindfulness, when you start, you pause to think. You are mindful to think about, okay, you take conscious effort to know better about your emotions and the way you feel. And then the last one is personality assessment. There are a lot of assessments online that we can actually do to develop our self-awareness. And I like to go by this quote by Aristotle that says, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Yeah, knowing yourself. And I quite agree with that, because if you don't know yourself, you cannot, if you don't know yourself, you can't know how to better project yourself to other people. If you don't know yourself, you'll be having that internal chaos. Because you won't understand yourself. You won't understand the reason why you do things. You can just be irrational in your behavior. You'll be having ups and downs. You will not be able to pinpoint that, okay, this is really the issue. I need to work on this. So I quite agree with this quote. And there is another quote by Socrates that says, an unexamined life is a life that is not worth living. It is not worth living when you don't examine yourself. And examining our lives, talking about self-awareness. When you don't know yourself, there is no, when you don't examine yourself to, reflect and to take all those steps, you cannot understand yourself better. And our call to action this morning is to commit to regular self-awareness practices. Yeah, thank you very much. I would like to open the floor now for contributions and questions. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Bukula, for this great presentation, and it was really beautiful. Thank you. And I think we kind of cover everything, but I thought I can just share my idea, my thoughts on this. And the sentence, the last quotes you were saying, knowing yourself is like the starting of the wisdom, something like that. I think, yeah, that's really the summary of why self-awareness is good. And I don't think it's something that you can, I think it's something that you can gain by practicing. It's not like, okay, I don't have self-awareness, I don't know myself, and I cannot do anything about it. Yes, you can, by practicing, by focusing on yourself, by spending some quality time with yourself, you can increase self-awareness, and that's really important for you to do that. Because I think it kind of improve the quality of all your relationships, either in your work relationships, your personal relationships. It really improves the quality, because you can be totally yourself and you can enjoy those relationships. Because if you want to pretend something else, or you are not comfortable with people thinking different things about you, but once you have self-awareness, once you know completely what you like, what are your motivations, I don't know, what are your feelings, you are more comfortable to have relationships with other people. And it's not only, I think, self-awareness is not only about knowing your feelings, your emotions, your abilities, your strengths. It's also about expressing those feelings, feeling free to show your emotions, show your feelings, and I don't know, talk about yourself. I think feel free to do all this is another aspect of self-awareness. And I think people who have self-awareness and people who are really self-aware are really they are really good to work with, like they have them in your team because they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses. They are not like defensive when they don't know something. There's a weakness about them, so they don't get defensive. They know that they have like some, I don't know, a lack of something, and they're okay with it. They try to improve it, but they are not like defensive that no, I can do this, I don't need help. They're not like that. So it's really nice working with a self-aware person, because you don't need to spend that much energy telling them that, for example, you need help or you need to fix something in that way, because they are relaxed. They know that what they can do best and what is their weakness, so you can really communicate with them in terms of I don't know, teamwork, I'm saying. So I think, as you were saying, the steps of being self-aware is to understand your weaknesses and strengths. So in that case, you have the power to use, your strengths intentionally, and kind of manage to manage your weaknesses, because you are now aware of them. You're not afraid. You know that you have that weakness and you can cover it or you can manage it, and you don't feel stressed when it happens, because you already know that you have that weakness. So I think it's something that you have to improve about yourself. That know yourself, and knowing yourself can help you express yourself better, and then it will affect the quality of your relationships. So yeah, that's my contribution. Thank you, Bukula, for this topic and yeah, this presentation. So you're muted. Sorry, Bukula, you're muted.
Oh, so sorry. I didn't realize. I was saying thank you, Sapide, for sharing that insight with us. And I would like to call on others too. Of course, we should all participate and say something. Yeah, your contribution could help another person. So we are in this together. Yeah. So yeah, with other contributions.
Good morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Noah.
Good morning. Okay, so for me, if I can start with, I'll say self-awareness, it's contributing towards our emotional intelligence. And then I believe that it's helped each and every one of us here to manage our emotions. And then it's also enable us to recognize our behavior. Just like how you mentioned earlier on, Bukula, there are certain attributes or traits that we might possess within ourselves that we are not even aware of, but some of the people that we are interacting with around, like every day, the people we are working with, they might have known some of this trait or this habit in us. And also, there are certain things that you possess in yourself, within you, that no one, you're the only one that know that, okay, this is something that I have within me. So you see, So, and that's why self-awareness, I believe it's enable our relationship, our behavior. It has a positive, irrespective of how you do it, it has something very, very important in our relationship that we're having. So, and also, I believe self-awareness also enable us or promotes us to make a better decision. Because if you are not aware of how we are doing things, or you're not mindful of your thought, you might be doing anything anyhow. And in return, you will just come by and say, oh, this is how I'm used to do things. But that's not how it should be. Should be also be mindful about how you make some decision, what you can do that will affect other person. Maybe you might be doing something you think or thought that, oh, this is right. You can just feel like doing this. But seriously, are you thinking about how this can affect other people? You should also be mindful about that. If we are not mindful about our thoughts, then seriously, I believe we will not be able to have we will not be able to have a better decision making in our own life. Yeah, because we first of all need to understand what are some of these decisions that I want to make. Are you aware of it? Are you aware of how this might hinder another person? Because that's all about self-awareness. Because when you are aware about how you're doing things, how you're dealing with things, or your behavior towards others, then automatically, I believe, you create time for yourself. Another thing again is self-awareness does not necessarily mean you just need to be mindful about our thoughts and then about how we are feeling. I believe it's also enable us to make better choices and then decision. If that's why most of the people that are not aware, they are not introspectively looking at themselves. Some of the decisions that they are making, it might be affecting people around them, but they will never know, because it's very important for us to know that self-awareness will lead us to make a better decision, and it enables us also to make better choices in our life. Because each and every one of us, we want to have a meaningful life. We want to have a life that is full of glory. Yeah, we want to live a meaningful life, wherein we want to leave a landmark. But if you are not thinking about that, you just do things how you want, trust me, then you'll not be able to do anything. So I believe also again that self-awareness is I believe the foundational skill for us all here in every aspect of our life. If we want to pivot in both our career, our relationship, anything so far that you are doing within, how are you doing some of these things? How they can contribute to other person growth? How can these hinder other people? You should be thinking about that. If you are thinking about all of these things, then trust me, you'll be able to know what you want to do in life. And then it enables you to pivot your career. Trust me, if you are aware of yourself. So for me, this is my own take on this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noah. Thank you. That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. When you do, you have to understand how your decisions or indecisions, how it affects other people. Yeah, that's powerful. So this floor is still open. The floor is still open for others to contribute. Yeah.
Hi, Bukola. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you, Bukola, for such a good topic and your great presentation as well. It was really nice. So coming back to the topic, importance about self-awareness. I think self-awareness is like a really critical skills that impacts our both personal and professional development. And if we are being self-aware of ourselves, our behavior, like how we act in a different situations. So I think that would make our life really easy and more impactful. If we want to improve ourselves, if we want to develop our new skills or improve in any area of our life, first we need to be self-aware of like what are the areas where I'm lacking, or what are my strengths, or what are my weaknesses. So like if any person wants to improve, or like their relationships, or their like a career, or anything, so they need to be self-aware of it. Like if you can't solve a problem which you are not aware of, that's what I think. Yeah, like for if you want to solve anything, like if you want to improve yourself, you need to first understand like in what areas you are lacking, or in what areas you need improvement, and what are your strengths as well. Like if you are not aware of, like you might be good at something, but you don't realize it. You might think, oh, everyone can do that. But when you look around and like notice other people, you might be aware like, oh, that's a thing that like not everybody can do, or like how easily I'm able to do. And like same in the areas of like, you know, your weaknesses. You might be unaware of like such behaviors. You might do them unconsciously, but you are not thoughtful of your peers or like no others, and you are just like bursting out emotionally. So if you're not aware of that, like how you are behaving in public, or like with your peers, or that, I think that could impact your relations and like your even productivity as well. Like sometimes when you like especially when you are emotional, whether it's anger, or you are feeling so much happy, like you are over the moon. So in that cases, if you are not self-aware, you might make such decisions you won't like after like that phase passes. So I think yeah, self-awareness is really important in these things. Like if we take example, like if you are once you're too happy and you make a decisions, and you know you're like always gonna regret it. So if you are aware of that behavior of yours, so the next time you would be like so much happy, or you are like no uh, uh, emotional in any, like whether it's anger, or you are like being too happy. So you will be self-aware like, oh, like if I'm angry, I should not speak in such a way or certain way like I usually do. So I think yeah, self-awareness really helps in those things, and it will help us improve our relationship, because if you are self-aware of your negative behaviors and positive behaviors, that
Yeah.
will impact yeah, your relations with others, and also your productivity as well. And also I think yeah, like if I think the people who are like more self-aware of their behaviors, or like about themselves, they are more content and satisfied with their life, rather than those people who are not self-aware of this. Because like if they are self-aware, they know like what is their purpose, or why they are doing whatever they are doing. So they know like I want to do this thing because I want to achieve this thing, instead of like people who are not aware, or they are just doing it because others are doing it. So I think yeah, self-awareness really help us in like leading a like a satisfied and like more prosperous life in that way. Yeah, so I think yeah, having self-awareness is really important. Yeah, thank you so much, Bukola.
Thank you so much, Ritika. Yeah, self-awareness is actually the foundation for problem solving indeed. Yeah. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you. So I don't know, I think it's 9:30 already. So I think our time is fast spent. So I would like to hand over to the admin now. Thank you once again for the opportunity.
Thank you, Bukola.